Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with this report claiming that Barcelona aiming to sign at least 3 or 4 players this summer transfer window. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking on this transfer report claiming that Barcelona are being rivaled by PSG and Newcastle United in the pursuit of this 18-year-old Ligue 1 midfield talent. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. With a squad overhaul in mind, Barcelona are anticipated to make a series of changes in the upcoming summer transfer window. This forthcoming period of transformation represents a time of immense potential and uncertainty. According to RAC1, Barca aim to sign at least 3 or 4 players this summer. If there is a major sale, even more signings could be made. In a recent interview, Xavi came out to emphasize the importance of acquiring players in order to compete at the highest level. As he said, if we want to compete at the European level, we have to reinforce the squad well. We are heavily dependent on the financial fair play situation, but we have to look at all the possible scenarios. He said, I'm optimistic, and I think we can reinforce the squad well. Considering the emphasis being laid on making movements in the transfer window, it is no surprise that 3 to 4 players are being sought. However, it is worth mentioning that the club has drawn up certain priorities that take the most weight. Following Sergio Busquets' departure, a pivot is high on Xavi's wish list. A backup striker for Lewandowski and also an interior to deploy in midfield are also considered priorities. Barcelona are yet to finalize an adequate replacement for Busquets, as many names have been mentioned. However, it appears the Catalans are closing in on the transfers of Ilkay Gundogan and Vitor Roque, who are seen as priority profiles for the interior midfield and centre-forward positions. The Catalans are hoping to offload players like Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres and Frank Kessié, and the majority of the players who were out on loan last season, such as Samuel Umtiti, Clement Lenglet, Alex Collado, and Nico Gonzalez. And as the report mentions, if a significant exit operations take place, the possibility of reinforcing areas of the squad, such as right back position or the left wing role, also exists. Of course, the summer transfer window is fast approaching in Spain, and Barcelona are still to make any official announcement of a player being signed. Barcelona have a lot to do. We have a lot to do because the window is coming soon, and there are a lot of positions that we need to strengthen. No doubt about that. The DM role, as Busquets is departing, the right back also needs to be strengthened. A backup for Lewandowski, an interior midfielder. Of course, if Barca can get great players in that position, then I think this next season will be a good one for us. That is, if they do things well, because a lot is at stake. A lot is at stake. Barca needs to sell a couple of players in order to ensure that there's room for players to be signed, and not just signed, but also being registered. Of course, we have been linked with multiple players like Vitor Roque, who is seen as the backup to Lewandowski. Barca have been pushing and pushing and pushing, even though there were reports of the player, already close to a move to Barca, and there's an agreement. But those reports were debunked, that they were not true. But the player still continues to show so much interest in Barca. So Barca are still optimistic about it no matter what. Then in the DM role that have been the most talked about role for replacement, as Busquets will be departing, we have been linked with a lot of players. Martin Zubimendi was the most talked about, until when it was reported that Barca have ruled out completely the signing of Zubimendi because the player is not even showing interest, and the 60 million euro valuation is too high according to Barca, that they don't have such money for the player. According to his standard, 60 million is too much. So Sociedad have said it's okay, if you want to go, you can go. And most importantly, when the player made a very funny statement saying that he prefers to inherit Mendes' shirt than to inherit Busquets' shirt in his footballing career, Barca did not find that funny and they had to just give up on him, even though it is Xavi's top choice, but that doesn't mean he should be speaking anyhow against Barcelona. So as it stands right now, Barca keep an eye close to other players like Sofian Amrabat in that position, and of course Ilkay Gundogan as an interior midfield target. Barca keep an eye close to him as they continue to push for a possible transfer in the summer transfer window. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Barcelona are keeping tabs on young talents with potential across the globe, which has led them to the signing of Senegalese defender Mikhail Faye, while they maintain a strong interest in Brazilian talents like Vitor Roque and Ryan Vitor. Another young prospect that has seemingly interested on the radars of the Blaugrana, as reported by Sport, is Rennes midfielder Desire Doué. However, Barcelona are not alone in pursuit of the 18-year-old talents, as PSG and Newcastle United are also keeping close tabs on him. Doué came from through the ranks of Rennes and enjoyed his breakthrough season last time out under manager Bruno Genesio. The 18-year-old attacking midfielder finished the season with 34 appearances across all competitions, in which he netted 4 goals and set up 1 more. Doué played his final part in helping Rennes secure a top 4 finish in Ligue 1 and European football for next season as a result, even though his involvement did decrease a bit towards the back end of the season. Nevertheless, the midfielder, whose market value stands at 15 million euros, has managed to alert several top clubs across Europe, including Barcelona. The Blaugrana are on the lookout for a midfield player who can provide goals and creativity so that they can address the over reliance on Pedri. Ilkay Gundogan of Manchester City remains their main priority, but adding a young talent like Doué on the roster would be a shrewd move. However, Barca would have to staff off competition from Bayern, from PSG, Manchester United, Newcastle, who are in particular pressing hard for the teenager signing. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.